This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Squarer design, a little less narrow on the front. I know, can you believe it's already the 6th generation of Samsung's book-style folding phone? And you might say, wow, so little has changed. From generation to generation is kind of subtle. Think back to the original Z Fold or the Z Fold 2 though. Things have changed, and people who are upgrading from older models will want to watch this video. We're going to look at it now. So I like the updated look, the square sides and including the corners, which might be slightly less comfy to hold, but the lack of the curvy edges makes it look a little bit more modern and clean. I'm not sure about the triple cameras on the rear getting those big black surrounds around the lenses. It kind of stands out more than the older version, but you know, whatever. Anyway, I think the big thing is 2.7 millimeter wider outer screen. Given how narrow it's been, annoyingly narrow, that's nice. 1.4 millimeters less tall. I don't think anybody cares about that. Overall footprint, pretty similar, though they're doing this by bezel reduction. It's also a little bit lighter. Armor aluminum frame is 14 grams lighter than the Fold 5, 24 grams lighter than the Fold 4, so supposedly stronger by 10% as well. Not that we ever worried about the frame, right? It's usually mostly the fragile inner display that we worry about. Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front and back. Again, less worried about that, not so different from any other phone, those two services, is it? And now a shout out to our sponsor, trendmicro Premium Security Suite, which is their most comprehensive solution. So, you know, we cover a lot of hardware in this channel, but guess what? Software makes the hardware. Your pretty laptop or phone isn't going to do anything without software. And the most important thing is software to keep you safe. And they have a comprehensive solution here. It's not just antivirus, though it is that. It is also a secure VPN and child monitoring software as well. So you can make sure kids don't go to the wrong sites and all that sort of thing. Summer's coming up. Kids are out from school. You probably might be interested in that sort of thing. And it's not just one device. You get 10 devices with one subscription. Android, iOS, iPads, tablets, Windows, Mac, you name it. And there's also a password manager, so you don't have to have a separate one of those. Everything you need. Be sure to check out my link in the description to save and get your copy. And now back to our video. So inside, no surprise, we have a new CPU generation, Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. For Galaxy, because they tweak, it's like 100 megahertz higher clock speed than competing phones. It's the same as you would see in the S24 series. Typically with the Folds and the S20 whatever we're up to series, you know, each year is going to change, they're bouncing and catch up with each other. So that's not a surprise there. Those are the biggest changes, actually. So that's it, right? So if you have a Fold 5, other than lusting for some new tech or something like that, or worried about how long your potentially fragile Fold 5 will last, well, probably not so much. It's those of you who have always wanted a folding phone and those of you who have older generation phones. Let me speak to that for a minute with the Fold 5 and fragility and all that kind of thing. I own a Fold 5. Nothing has ever happened to it. Samsung has Care Plus. I'm not usually a fan of extended warranties, insurance, and all that kind of thing, but in the case of people do worry a lot about the inner displays, and they are expensive to fix. You know, it's like $12 or $13 a month in the United States, and for that peace of mind, and now that they've got the service down and it's good, you quickly get a replacement if that inner display breaks. It's probably worthwhile for those of you who are just thinking, I really want to get a folding phone, but I'm worried about this. Just pay for the insurance. Okay, end of that. Also, don't upgrade every year if you're only thinking how much longer will the display last, because if you've got insurance, you know, they'll cover you for a couple of years there, then you don't have to upgrade. End of that spiel. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people are rocking a Fold 1 or a Fold 2 anymore, but if you've got a 3 or a 4, given the fact that it's gotten wider with the 5 and with the 6 for the outer display and other improvements and strengthening of the ultra-thin glass on the inside, it's certainly worth considering. Except the one thing that hurts is we assumed foldables were going to get more affordable as they became more commonplace, more advanced, more years on the market, and instead $100 more expensive now for both the Z Fold 6 and the Z Flip 6 that we're also going to be reviewing. So you're looking at an entry price of $18.99. Now in the United States, Samsung always has crazy pre-order trade-in deals, and you might get it for $600 or something with a trade-in and all that sort of thing. But I know in Europe they don't have such great trade-ins, so not the direction we wanted to go. Another thing that's changed is brightness. Typically phones get brighter every year, and no exception here. Both the inner and outer displays, 6.3-inch outer AMOLED display and 7.6-inch inner display, both 120 Hz variable refresh, have gotten brighter this year. So, you know, it's with the foldable screens, it really makes a difference because the outer display is fine. The glare is not so bad, but the plasticky screen protector that's on the inner display and the nature of that display is typically, it picks up glare more. So more brightness is better for outdoor viewability. So that's nice. Are they going to beat OnePlus? OnePlus Open, or their crazy bright display? Well, that's getting a little bit hard. There are brightness wars. Yes, that's a thing in phones now, but it certainly does help. In terms of the audio, that's about the same. In terms of battery, that's the same. 4,400 milliamp battery, and you've got 25-watt fast-ish charging and 15-watt wireless charging. It's IP48, so the 8 is the water resistant, so it's very water resistant. 4 is for the dust. It's fairly dust resistant, which is doing better than the OnePlus Open, which doesn't even want to talk about dust resistance, even though it seems to do okay. For connectivity, we have 5G, both sub-6 and millimeter wave, with many, many bands supported for use around the world. Samsung is a large global company, so we expect that from them. Wi-Fi 6E, not Wi-Fi 7. I don't care about that. You don't care about that either, really. Bluetooth 5.3, of course, NFC. And you have both a nano SIM and eSIM. Some countries might get dual nano SIM on there. No SD card slot though. You can get storage anywhere from 256 to 512 to 1 terabyte on the phone, and 12 gigs of RAM no matter which storage configuration you choose. Once upon a time, Samsung would vary the RAM based on storage configuration, but no more. Cameras, not much has changed here either from the last generation. Are you sensing a theme? Yeah, you are. 4 megapixel under display selfie camera, as before, the same underwater looking, watery under display look. It's, you know, it's there in case you really have to use it. The outer 10 megapixel selfie camera, much better. The triple cameras on the rear. The ultra wide is an updated sensor, so it's supposed to be a little better in low light, and in fact it does make for a little bit brighter shots. The 50 megapixel f1.8 main camera is the same. It has OIS. So does the telephoto, but not the ultra wide. The telephoto is still that 3x 10 megapixel that we saw before. And as with last year, it's a nice, pleasant camera. It's competitive. Pixel Fold doesn't have their world's best camera either because of reasons. It's hard to get all the folding parts in there and really big camera units and stuff too. I would say OnePlus Open, once again, gives them a run there, even though they have the most Cyclops-like ugly camera thing on the back of it. And boy, it does take nice shots, except for fast-moving things. OnePlus Open, not so good at that. So if you have kids, yeah, move to a Samsung Galaxy or Pixel Fold. So, since we're talking about competing phones, the Pixel Fold OG is almost a year old, so we expect to see a new one. So probably not the time to jump into the original model if you're thinking about getting a Fold 6. Wait and see what's going to happen with the Pixel Fold 2. And with the OnePlus Open, it's been on the market a while too, at least 6-8 months or something like that. But honestly, it has a normal phone aspect ratio enclosed. It's a little bit lighter. It has very good cameras. There's a lot I like about it. Their brand notoriety and their customer support may not be what Samsung is, though, so that's something to keep in mind. But it is several $100s cheaper, but still worth a look, given now. I mean, sometimes they have these crazy trade-in deals. You can get one for like $600 as well with trading in anything just about. So it's nice to see some options on the market, but alas, we're not seeing even more brands jump on because we have so few brands actually making phones, at least in the United States now. So you get the theme here. This is an incremental improvement. That doesn't mean this is not a lovely folding phone. It is. It just means that you should be jumping into this as your first folding phone or upgrading from an older model. In terms of durability, nobody can say for sure. Mine, Fold 5, has lasted just fine. My Fold 4 never broke. Again, I do suggest insurance if you're worrying about that because this is a pricey piece. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.